afternoon. It's an abbreviated week here at Prodigy Real Estate.
Yes.
Right? So it was the
4th of July.
I want to make sure you
Of course. Independence Day.
Yes. So how was your Independence Day?
It was good. You know, kept it nice and quiet.
Kept it quiet.
Yes.
Okay. Unlike tonight. It's gonna be more raucous, I'm sure.
No.
The 4th of July weekend's here, guys. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their time.
Yes.
And obviously I'm not gonna be able to moderate TikTok like I planned. It didn't go through. I don't know. It didn't go through.
All right.
So we're gonna have to meander through comments. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see them or not. But if everybody doesn't know, we're gonna be top. But looking up, we're dealing with something with Facebook Live. It's at the bottom. It's TikTok. We tend to get a lot of, you know what? I could go on here and actually probably just view it, right? I'm sure if I go on here, just in case if there is something. We're gonna look and go to the. There we go. I'm actually watching myself.
I know. I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
You like?
Myself like that.
Here we go. Okay, we're back at it. So now I can actually see.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not.
You scared? She's
She's
scared. She doesn't see. I'm recording the screen so you can look at the comments later.
No.
Anyway, so what we're going to be dealing with today is we're going to be dealing with what? I'm gonna do too much of talking. I'm going to leave it up to you.
So we were talking about the challenges of the NAR lawsuit that is going. They're enforcing it in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
So the challenges of that, like for the future.
Yes. And one of the things what we're doing is what are we doing about it? We're changing things.
Yes.
A lot of things changing, right?
Yeah. A lot is changing.
And we're gonna, the big thing is like we're gonna be seeing a lot as far as like how we do business is gonna be affected. What's gonna be expected of buyer agents, and basically she's ready to laugh. She's like she is just so nervous about. I can see there's nothing bad. Yay, Keri. Yay, Anthony.
Who said that?
It's Krista.
Krista?
Yes.
Oh, hey.
So we're gonna be talking about like what it looks like as far as I hate these glasses, by the way. But I it's on my docket to change these glasses.
Yeah.
I hate them. I really do hate them, and I roll over them at night. But anyway, let's get into the questions and answers and what this means and like what we're doing about it, because we have to do something about it, right? I mean, obviously, as a challenge to the real estate business that we do, how are we gonna change to adapt, and what it means for you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So why don't you start it off?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Jump right into it, Keri.
So, first I'm going to ask you, what do you think will be the biggest factor driving commission rates down?
Thoughts on CBRE? I'm not sure what that means.
CBRE?
Is that, be specific? I'm sorry, that was just someone making a question. Thoughts on CBRE? I don't have any. Yeah, this is like one of the worst angles we could have of ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
This angle's the worst.
I know.
It's like, oh.
I know. I can't look at it.
But anyway, but CBRE, give me, express that. I'm sorry, we're dealing with a TikTok question, which is CBRE. Okay, keep going with if they answer it, to get more in depth, I'll answer that question.
Yeah. So this is impact on commission rates.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think will be the biggest factor driving commission rates?
Well, I mean, it's a big, broad question in the sense that what I think is going to be the driver. Well, one of the problems is that with the lawsuit, it's going to require buyer agents to expressly express the commission that they'll be charging the buyer up front. Okay, so let's get into like what that means. So basically, when you go meet your buyer agent, or you call on a house, you may go on for sale for like, you go into maybe realtor.com and you go and you click on the thing, I want to view this house. So there's no express, there has to be at the time that you're shown the house, a commission to be paid by the buyer. And I think what that means is that when you typically did real estate,
Oh, that was just a thing. Sorry, so we're
Warren
not.
Ulrich.
What is
It's
this?
so bad. She'll do more entertaining stuff later. At the end of the broadcast. But anyway, so what you really want to do is basically look at how that commission is going to be structured once you go in. So once a buyer goes in, is it going to be a fixed fee? Is it going to be a percentage fee? But you're going to have to get it prior to going into a house, and that's another thing.
So you have to get what?
He's I argue with her with that all the time. So it's funny.
What's his
No.
What is that?
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
You argue with me all the time.
She said, I tell you this all the time.
I can't read it.
It says, stop playing with your hair looks fine.
Oh, did somebody actually wrote that?
Yes.
Oh my god.
She has a habit of doing that.
I
It's over at
do.
them.
Wow.
I'm going to talk.
People are calling me out.
Yes, they are.
I know.
Instead of me all the
I'm
time.
gonna stop.
I
know,
told
hearing
you.
it
I
from
said
somebody
to you.
now,
It's like she speaks in the chair a lot too. Like makes a lot of squeaky noises with the chair because she can't sit still. My chair's absolutely quiet, by the way.
Yeah, it is me. I gotta
So
stop.
when you hear all that creaking, it's Keri like wiggling in the chair.
Okay, I'll try to stop.
I took my glasses off because they annoy me. So anyway.
Glasses.
Yeah. I'm not even because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be able to read the comments and they're gonna distract me, and I already distracted by
I
them.
feel it. Yes, I understand. I know, that's why I can't.
I
even
can't
do
look
this.
at the comments and do this because it's like I'll address them at some point when I get a pause.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, it gets too out of control.
Yeah, it does get a.
I guess, but
crazy.
that's the nature of TikTok, though, right?
Yeah, it's not.
It's much more interactive.
Yeah, very.
But anyway, let's get into what's going on with the real estate business. Keep going. Let's keep this moving.
Okay, yes.
Enough with your hair.
Yes. No more touching of my hair. So there's obviously going to be an impact on home buyers.
Right.
With this.
Right.
What do you think the impact will be?
I think the impact is going to be whether they're going to decide to pay or not.
Mm-hmm.
Why is a buyer's agent, and that's a good question for you guys willing to pay a buyer's agent to show you houses? And that's got to be, again, what I see happening is that at one time it was pretty straightforward about what you were going to do when you met a buyer's agent. There was already a presumption that the seller was paying the buyer's agent. There can no longer be that assumption.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're used to the commission coming directly out of the seller's portion of which is, I don't understand it, guys. So when it comes to that, I was under the impression, like when we first got into this debate, it was like, it's not the seller that offers the commission. It's actually, you set the commission with the seller, the listing agent, and the commission was actually paid by the listing broker, not the seller. Mm-hmm. But I guess they feel like that was going to, because you need to do that, increase the amount that needs to be compensated by the seller. I don't think it's going to work in the way they want it to work. So as far as that's concerned, so whether it's going to impact the buyer is that really right now the only thing is if they made it any harder for you guys, it's only going to make it. I do think at the end of the day it's going to make it harder.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, are they going to reach out and like basically say, I'm going to pay $15,000, $20,000 for the service of being a buyer's agent, and is the buyer willing to pay it? And, you know,
So it has to come out of pocket for
technically,
the buyer.
technically they can now under the provision. It just can't be shown in the MLS. So this is I mean, when this all breaks down, it's going to be like one big. I don't know what the goal was to accomplish. It's just not. It could appear on advertisements. It can't appear on the MLS.
Yeah.
Which is just. I don't get it. I mean, it's hard to understand the whole thing, to be honest with you. When you think about what's going to happen, it's like it's not making the process any more efficient. If it's not making it efficient, I don't know how it's going to bring down cost. So I think that's a problem and there's a lot of people like scrambling around trying to figure out how to deal with this problem. Like, what are they going to do? Like, as far as like compensating a buyer's agent if it's not really expressly done prior to the person going into view houses with that agent.
Yeah.
It's like they have to know. What would you think? Would you? No, I'm not going to ask you that.
What?
I'll put you in the spot. I feel like if you got to buy a house now, would you?
Would I?
Yeah, I'm not even going to. Don't answer that. But anyway, let's get. Yeah. So the bottom line is we'll buy, and maybe you guys can answer that. Are you guys willing to pay? And I gotta say, it's like it's gonna be a challenge for buyers agents as a whole. I do think that at the end of the day, the challenge is going to be a less efficient system. There'll be less people involved in the transaction, which is not going to improve efficiency. So I don't think the goal of accomplishing what they think they're accomplishing is going to get people to the finish, because it's likely going to increase the time a house is going to stay on the market, depending on like what the person's availability is.
Yeah.
Like as far as a listing agent goes, put a house on the market, right? What's the availability of a listing agent? If they have 15 listings, how could they be at all 15 at once? So they have to schedule things out. And it's going to make it for an inefficient system.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to send you a keys for your new job.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get you. You're going to have to give me my car, and you're going to have to go. I'm down to Jersey.
Imagine that.
But it's like it's coming down to the fact that if the efficiency isn't there, that's going to be the only ways to solve it. I mean, and I don't know how that's going to bring down cost, because honestly, they're saying there's anti-competitive practices, and that's where like I don't know if they're really getting to the crux of where it really what if that existed, where it exists, and I don't think it was in the way the buyer's agency commission was done. Yes, there were some people who would like they redline some people who charge certain commission rates. I've heard it, but I don't think you could hide anything from a buyer. For like they were assuming, just so you know, the premise of the lawsuit is assuming that if the seller didn't pay out a certain commission, the buyers wouldn't show the house. And if we're working in the internet era, I don't know how you could shield the person from seeing a house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. But there's ways we have to address it. And I think that's the big part of this, is how do we address that issue? Because you're no longer going to be, I think, as much reliant on a buyer's agent as you did in the past. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be a little tough.
It's going to be tough for some people, for sure.
Yeah.
So, what's next?
Well, next you slightly touched on it before. You said how instead of there's going to be no more MLS, so now it's going to be ads.
Well, it's not going to be. There'll be an MLS, but we could post a commission on the ads.
Yes. How do you think
that plays out?
Yeah.
It's going to be the Wild West, because you're going to assume that everybody's, first of all, has a brokerage, right? You have to monitor what people are doing. and now that there's no real streamlined process, and I can tell you how hard it is. Technically, as brokers, we're supposed to monitor the advertising of listings and advertising on the. I'm not even gonna read it. Don't stop.
I can't.
Good.
Is it? I'm sorry.
Don't even read it. That's why I took my glasses off, folks, because I can't read the comments. So, not to say that I want to ignore you guys, but it's like it does distract us from the.
I don't know what it says. No, I'm just curious.
No.
Okay.
Pay attention.
Okay.
But anyway, what we want to do is we want to see how that advertiser is going to look for each agent. And what are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I can't read it, and now I'm just thinking about what it says.
We cannot afford homes that make $70K a year. It's nothing major.
Oh, okay. It's not. Now I know.
I'm gonna have you can disable that comment section.
We can, but then we can't get like questions,
Right.
like actual real questions.
Well, I gotta get you to pay attention long enough so you could not pay attention to all the questions. But anyway, what's gonna happen is basically, just so you know, it's gonna change the fundamental way we do business. And
Yeah.
I hate to say this, I don't know if the MLS is gonna be a practical way of helping, because I mean, like I said before, you could advertise the commission on advertising, but you can't put it on MLS. It doesn't make sense. I don't know how you make that happen. It's
Put it on advertising.
yeah, like
I was gonna
if,
say
if we
advertising.
make a post, we could put offering 2% buyer agent commission
okay.
on the, but we can't do it in the MLS.
Yeah.
But what happens is like people just randomly, you can have people like, and I'm telling you now, monitoring independent contractors' advertising is difficult. We have to do it. Technically, we have to do it. We're supposed to know before an ad technically goes up, at least in New York State and New Jersey as well. You have to, the broker has to know what advertising the agent's doing before it goes up technically. So, and we know with this day in social media, everything's so fast that
Yes.
you know, so
Yeah.
fast that you'd almost want to like. It's going to make the process again very disjointed. It's going to be difficult, more difficult to really just be in business for a lot.
Yeah.
For a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's a lot of oversight, monitoring, and I don't know if it accomplishes its goal. I don't believe it's going to accomplish its goal, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think like more like real estate companies are going to be putting out more, like advertising more and marketing?
Well, I do think that,
more?
yeah, I do think like advertising and marketing, I think there's one of the things that we kind of focused on this year. This year is we focused on, because I think there's too much reliance now that you don't have the ability to go put your house out and say, okay, it's an MLS. And if there's no buyer agents involved in the process, and you're going to have to really draw the person's eyes to those listings more than just putting it in a database, which I think most of the time people who are selling their house, there's an assumption that, oh, it's in a database, and they rely on database marketing as a way to, it's like an eBay type system. If you go, they're great platforms, don't get me wrong. Everybody in the Web 2.0 realm of things, there's Web 2.0 and there's Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is immersive, right? So it's going to be digital and video related and more interactive, and definitely, and I think that's the direction. And I think it's going to be more hyper local as far as advertising is concerned. A lot of things are going to change, and we've seen it, and I've seen in the past. It's going to change for sellers out there that are really thinking like, it's no longer, okay, I'm just going to put my house on the market. Now you have to really pay attention to the advertising part of it. What exactly is this company going to do? What kind of reach the company has? Because obviously you're not going to get the help. I'm not going to say that a lot of people who relied on MLS as a way to sell a house. You may not get, I think that's going to fade. That's where the fading is going to begin, is that there was an over-reliance on the fact that if I put a house on the market, the MLS would help facilitate the sale. Without buyer's agents, that may be a challenge. And I don't think a portal alone is going to be enough to say, oh, well, you know, your house is on Zillow, people are going to find it there. You'd be surprised at how much of this process is going to be disjointed by this new rule. And I focused this year on making sure that if we do change, we're going to, I don't see a different way if we change, we got to change how we structure our model to keep in mind that the buyer's agent isn't going to be there to assist in the sale.
Yeah.
Or make the sale go any faster. So we have to generate reach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what does it mean for like sellers in the future now?
Sellers are going to have to, the biggest thing, guys, I'm not going to say this, the one thing that I do think this changes is one of the problems that I've encountered over the years doing business was, are we setting up our infrastructures to do business in an environment that's completely different than what maybe 40 years of real estate has been,
Yeah.
which is MLS based. Now without that, it's changing. The fundamental structure is changing. So one of the components that you're going to really have to start paying attention to is you're going to have to watch how a property is now marketed as a way of knowing you're going to get a service. And I don't think enough sellers really take that into consideration. Mm-hmm. They go into the process. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but there was somebody who was selling and they were using, someone said, well, they just got their license and I feel bad that they just got their license. And I'd like to give them my house to sell. And I'm saying to myself, this is wild stuff, because it's like, okay, I get the loyalty part, but in an environment like we're in, it's going to be capitalized. They're undercapitalized to do the marketing. They're going to be hard pressed to just do the right things in an environment that's changing quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think to myself, what is it that this process is not getting? The fact that you're trading in, and I heard this, and it's like, whoa, slow down a second. This is your largest asset, right?
Yeah.
We're selling this. I think the house is into the $700,000 or $800,000 range. I'm saying to myself, okay, so I don't think if you went to get kidney surgery, it would cost $800,000 to have your kidney removed. And I don't know if you'd want to do that with the most inexperienced person you could find.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a second. We're talking about your net worth here, and people assume like it's some type of like natural progression from putting a house on the market, taking photos from the time it sells. What people don't realize is that we've done the studies that say a house that's properly marketed is going to get 50 times more eyeballs on it, which is going to drive the final sales price of that house. I don't care what people say about, oh, it's in the now you don't have the MLS as a backing because you don't have buyer agents. This has got to be rethought. And I think too many sellers go into this blindly. It's like, besides Zillow and Realtor.com, what are you doing? What's the company doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing? It's like, okay, I got my real estate license. What are you doing?
Yeah. What makes you different?
What's the difference between? And one of the things is at the core is, and I hear a lot of it, how many houses I sold. That may or may not play a factor in terms of quality sale versus volume of sale. Because I have people who do a great deal of volume with the transaction closing ratios, maybe 80%, and then you have a closing, someone has almost 96%. But you'll say, okay, the person sold 1 million houses, but they only have a closing ratio of 80%. Does that make the person better? I don't know. There's a lot of numbers between the numbers that I've said in the past. It's like, you have to look at success ratio, sale to list price ratio. That's really an effective measure the success of the agent and company, and I think it's one of the things that you have to look into when you get into this process. What is the process going to look like?
Yeah.
Do your research, please. God, I can tell you how many times I go through this.
I know.
It's like you had 6 people in your house, and they're all telling you how good they are, but you haven't seen it in any fundamental sense. What do they do differently? Ask those questions. What's going to happen once my house goes to the market? What are they doing? And I can't say this enough. Changing perspectives changes the saleability of a house. So, back when the web first began, it was like syndication. They'd send the house out to 16 different websites, all with the same photos, descriptions, and everything else, because it was like throwing mud at the wall. It was like, well, if I throw enough mud at the wall, the wall will be covered.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if it's on all these sites, and someone's just going to happen to, you got to, this is, but it's a philosophy that you see a lot. It's like, okay, my house is going to be seen on 60 websites. Your house has to be seen differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that this year we really concentrate on is like, let's not make everything the same, because sometimes there's angles that are left out. What sellable angles do we use for video tours and things like that? We do change up, obviously we do a complete video tour, and then we usually do follow-ups, right? I mean, follow-up, we do the interior,
videos
right? Like we'll do like whatever content is appealing to the house, and keep it like focused. So it's definitely.
I know. I see that looks like a long comment.
But,
Is it not important?
not important. I'm leaving. I'm now with this thing with the comment section. Leave my glasses off is a good thing. Because I could be blind. It's like I'm looking into outer space. Sorry, guys. Don't even.
I can't
She can't
even
see.
read it.
And now I'm going to be using this phone more often because I can't even. Stop. Stop.
I really can't read it.
Good.
I guess this
Don't.
is kind of good, yeah.
Don't read it.
I'm not.
I don't think you want to read it.
Oh, God.
So I shouldn't even have said that. But anyway, let's keep focused.
Oh, God.
Focus. Like baseball, you're dealing with 90-mile-per-hour pitch. It's coming right for the zone. You got to hit it. So you can't pay attention to the crowd. The crowd noise ain't gonna make you change your focus.
I don't watch baseball, so.
Oh, you don't have to watch baseball, all sports. The crowd should never change your focus, even if you're being booed.
Yeah.
You've got to stay in the moment.
Because they do stay in the moment. Like, even when you're yelling for them, they don't even like.
Yeah, they don't
They
even
don't
move.
look at you. Yeah.
I know. Well, you know.
I hope our fans are here.
What?
Why? Because that's nice.
Okay.
Like,
They'll say,
Christmas,
they'll say, look at nice things.
Yes.
Look at some not so nice things.
Yes. No, we do get nice.
Angela is texting me. She forgets the reviews on Friday.
Oh.
But anyway, we're coming up on that time anyway. But what's next? Let's keep it moving.
Yes. Just get, sorry, so many papers here.
So many papers.
So many.
This angle is just awful.
I know.
It makes the bottom half of your body look so.
I know, this is really bad.
I'm watching myself. Sorry, guys. It's just we're on a delay. It's like you see what you're doing, and then all of a sudden I go back and I see
you see it like a little delayed. I know, I did.
It's like a
notice that
2-second delay, a 3-second delay. I guess in case they have to like moderate something quickly, they can knock you off.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you think these changes will affect the relationship between real estate agents and their clients?
Well, I think it's going to change the relationship in the sense that it's not, you're going to sell services differently. And I think we may start to see, it's so where we're a very, how do you say, entrenched industry as far as culturally.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a certain culture, and I think what's going to happen is that I think some of that culture is going to change, because it's like technically there's not, everybody is going to really have to start looking at service quotient more than what they think they should know or what they do know about this process. And I do think that the whole playbook on what's going to happen with this is going to put stress on some who haven't adapted.
Mm-hmm.
I still think as an industry, we're behind the curve technology-wise as comparison to other industries. And I think there's been some allowance to that, and there's just the nature of how the business obtains leads per se. I'm on a lot of forums,
Yeah.
and like, this will tie in a second, because I kind of like, it's like a broad question, I need to like wrap it in.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is, I see like agents complaining about how to get leads, and there's some practical ways that you can be doing that, like without paying so much money to do it. And I think that if you're developing infrastructurally, especially with the social media, obviously is a big part of it.
Yeah.
That you're going to grow into a better marketability that's going to change your future. And you have to be with organizations that adapt to that culture quickly. It's going to really be painful for a lot of folks. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be painful. Let me just see. Somebody's.
I see laughing faces.
Yeah.
So.
She's legit speaking. Okay.
She's legit speaking? What?
Oh, stop it, please.
I'm sure.
No, it's
No.
like, I'm just
It's okay.
reading comments.
Yeah, no. I'm
There's
not.
just nothing. Stay focused.
Focused.
Focus.
I'm focused. Next question.
Yes.
Okay. No. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at some of these comments.
Okay.
They asked me, they're asking me, oh wow, oh there you go, okay. I just pulled, I think the whole system is broke, I better leave.
Somebody wrote that?
I think I broke the system. I think you may have. I'm seeing it,
Yeah, any questions?
They got rid of some
Oh, really?
Sorry.
No questions there?
God. I'm just sorry. I'm just, I'm reading to see if there's anything.
Someone started following us. Thank you.
Let me see what we got here. Okay, keep going.
All right.
I broke the system. You better leave. Okay. That was one of the comments.
I broke the system.
They broke the system, the whole entire thing.
How do you think this settlement will influence future legal actions within the real estate industry?
That remains to be seen. How it will impact is that the business will become fractured up a bit. So, it's kind of funny, like when they made the MLS kind of like the enemy, and now it's like sometimes like working to a system, you're trying to improve the outcome. I've never seen. It's very rare to see interventions lead to greater outcomes when it's less than all the knowledge about the process is being implemented. But I do think that
What?
I'm just thinking the comments.
Somebody wrote something?
It was about me, but
Oh.
so it was nothing bad. Nothing bad.
You're laughing. Knocking on wood.
Are we done? consequences of you. Sorry, guys. Some of the stuff is just it just makes me. It's just I'm gonna switch this to like we can't do the same at the same time.
We're both getting we'll get distracted by it.
I know. It's like I'm gonna do like a blind. Just says, just sell. Wait a minute. We're selling off the family place. This is good.
Okay.
Okay. We're selling off a family place. 379,000 K. Had an inspection. Roof failed. So we dropped down. Just so. Okay. So that's a good question. So I think it's a smart move. Wes, that's a good move. Okay? And, I'm not going to tell you this. This is one of the things that I see in real estate a lot. And Wes asked me, they're selling off a house. There was a home inspection problem having to do with the roof. They had to drop the price. And I think it's, we understand what Wes is saying. Thanks. I think it's a good move. I do think that one of the things I'm looking at as far as the broader economy is concerned is I don't think we've topped out on prices. Mm-hmm. So we have to look at like the things moving forward. I'm not saying that the prices can't accelerate like in the next quarter because there's so many, we do the stats get into more fundamentals than what we talk about. But I'm telling you that I do think at the end of the day, when you look at roof costs, to replace the roof, and if you felt like it was time to move on, I don't think it's a bad move to cut the price to do what you needed to do. Because I do think so many people make the mistake of doing some pretty ridiculous things for $5,000 that cost $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 down the road. And I've lived doing this business for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've seen people lose the house on a water, $800. I never forgot I had this is one of the classic ones. It was someone that was selling the house for $535. They were arguing over an $800 hot water tank, hot water furnace, and one of the things was it wasn't working correctly. And the guy's like, "No, I've negotiated enough." I said, "You negotiate from zero, and then think of your numbers." Because people think that I got $375 as an offer, that you're taking less because they said it's 50. No, you're not taking less. If you have 5 offers, you're taking less. If someone bid higher, but you're not taking less.
Yeah.
That philosophy is flawed.
What? I saw one word.
Anyway, shield the children's eyes. I think right now, I don't think it's anything. He's just knowing that it's throwing you off. I think that is being done intentionally.
Okay.
So that's why you have to negate that.
Yeah.
Throw it out the window. But that was a good question. As far as that was Wes. So Wes, you did the right thing. Okay. He's just being a troll now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Fallen warrior to the world. Anyway, hiring. Are we hiring? Well, where do you live? Yeah. Wes. No problem, Wes. No problem, Wes. Wes, that was a great question.
Yes, thank you for that question.
And user 560-867-811669. Praise Wes. This question.
Wes, great question.
I love the ones with the usernames.
Like user.
Somebody said I'm full of myself. That's not nice. Sorry. I got all the gifts I need in my life. Yes.
Good.
I'm very happy for you.
That is very
Fall in love. Anyway, what is everybody doing? So we're gonna cut this off there. I think we kind of hit the. You have one more question, right? Which is that.
good. Yes.
Is that?
Yeah.
So
Have you
ask me already, Keri.
Have you had any experiences where more transparency and commission practices would have been beneficial?
Do you know what that just said?
No. Oh, I thought you were talking about a comment.
No. Good. I don't even know what you just read.
All right. How do you think these changes will affect your own real estate transactions? This is better one. This is the beginning between those two.
So how do I think it's going to affect on the go? I don't think it's going to change much in terms of what we do. We're about, just so you know, our company is about 85% seller side transactions.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of built for that. We're built for the change. Are you hiring interns? Well, you can go to the link, go into the website, and you can submit a resume on our page.
Yes.
But is this a fun? No, it's not. It's okay.
Got it. Okay.
Shoot.
Oh. Okay. So, how do you think these changes will affect your own?
Guys, this is too fun. You guys
Real
humor me
estate.
up. It's anyway. I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay.
It is too distracting for the very, very practical people on Facebook.
It is.
Which is
I
like
know.
they're like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, you guys are like missing out.
It's like,
Yeah.
but anyway, I know you're having a good time. He's loving it because he's like, we got them all sorts out of sorts. But it's not going to impact, I don't think it's going to, getting back to that question,
Yes.
it's not going to impact us much in terms of, I always like to just, I'm being ADD right now. I always like the clips of what we do because it really captures.
Oh yeah, I know.
We're better in like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
first.
yeah, I know.
than doing this long winded.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I said, it's not going to impact what we do too much as far as, because like I said, most of the business we do is on the seller side, just because of our advertising capabilities. We have a huge YouTube following. Follow us on YouTube, guys. I know YouTube is big.
Yeah,
It's
check us
getting
out.
bigger, and we're doing. I've been working day and night, and you can get like videos of just about every neighborhood in New Jersey now.
Yeah.
We have it almost. Monmouth and Ocean counties covered. Some of the things will be coming up is I think Somerset and Union counties. Anyway,
Keep an eye out.
don't impact the question. Joined. I'm flying to YouTube. I found.
He said,
He's just nuts. It's, you know, don't, you're not, don't.
oh. That's funny.
It is funny, a little bit funny.
A little bit.
A little bit fun. I think it's just like, I think the whole thing about like getting you off your spot.
Kidding me?
You're doing it, right? From our domestic team, she's all the. What?
What is it?
I don't know what this means. Line there. I don't know what that means. Keri does the PR marketing. I own the company.
Yes.
So to be like this girl's like, can it please be 5 o'clock already? Yeah, it's well, that was good. You're right. Maybe that's something. Do you give real estate advice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask away. We're gonna close off Facebook. I'm gonna
Alright.
shut off Facebook now. Guys on Facebook, have a great day.
Bye,
We'll see you
Facebook.
next week.
Yes. Take care.